Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the CURT Trailer Hitch receiver here on a 2020 Nissan Pathfinder. So this is what our trailer hitch is going to look like installed. Now thankfully most of it is actually hidden behind our bumper here, so the only thing we're going to see is the receiver tube. Therefore we get a very factory-like finish. Now what we can see, the receiver tube, it has a nice black powder coated finish, which is going to do a great job of helping the hitch hold up to rust and corrosion, being that it is on the underside of the vehicle. It also again helps it blend in more due to our black plastic panels here. So adding a trailer hitch to your Pathfinder here, it's going to be an excellent option because it's going to make your vehicle that much more versatile. Now we can obviously use the trailer hitch for towing, but if we wanted to hit the trails or free up some space inside the vehicle for those long road trips, we could easily attach either a hitch-mounted bike rack or a hitch-mounted cargo carrier. So in regards to towing, our trailer hitch here has a Class 3 rating, which is going to provide us with a 6,000 pound gross trailer weight rating. That's the amount we can pull outward on the receiver tube with our fully loaded trailer. And it also has a 900 pound tongue weight rating. That's going to be the downward force on the receiver tube. Now keep in mind, these capacities are for the trailer hitch, not the vehicle, which is tested separately. So you'll want to go ahead and verify the vehicle's capacities in the owner's manual and then abide by the lower of the two rated components. I'd also like to point out that if we want to use a weight distribution system, this hitch is rated for that application. So thankfully in regards to bike racks and cargo carriers, that because we have the larger 2" by 2" receiver tube opening, we're going to have a much wider variety of selection to choose from. Make sure you go ahead and check out our offerings here at eTrailer. So if we take a closer look at the side of the receiver tube, you're going to see we have the industry standard 5/8" diameter hitch pin hole. That's going to accept our standard 5/8" diameter hitch pin and clip. Keep in mind, this is going to be sold separately. However, most bike racks and cargo carriers will come with their own, but if you're using it for towing, you'll probably need to pick one up. We have a great selection again here at eTrailer. We also have locking options as well. But welded to the bottom of the receiver tube, we have our safety chain loops. Those are going to work great with both the smaller S-type as well as the larger clevis style hooks. So now I have a couple measurements for you that are going to help you when you're selecting your hitch mounted accessories. The first one is the distance from the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening. It's going to be right at 13 inches, and that's going to be useful when you're selecting your ball mount. That way you can make sure you get the correct rise and drop to tow your trailer level. Now we have the distance from the center of the hitch pin hole to the outside edge of the bumper. That's going to be useful when you're selecting your folding accessories, such as a bike rack or cargo carrier. That way you can make sure that while they're in the stowed position, they don't contact the vehicle. So this one's going to be about 4.5 inches. So in regards to installation, this one is pretty straightforward. It doesn't get much simpler than this. We have to do a couple things before we actually raise the hitch up into position, but then it just bolts on and we can go ahead and walk you through this entire process step by step now. So to start off our installation today, we're going to be coming to the driver's side of the vehicle, looking up at the frame here. You can see we have a tow hook that's going to get in the way of our hitch, so we need to remove it. So we're going to have 4 bolts holding it to the frame, one here, and then 2 at the top on the other side as well. So we'll take an 18mm socket, remove those 4 bolts so we can remove the tow hook. Now we're going to come into the rear of the vehicle here. We're going to prop open our floor covering. And over here on the passenger side, if we look down in here, you should see we have this little cover. We're going to rotate that to remove it. This is going to reveal the bolt here, which is going to lower our spare tire. So we'll take a 21mm socket. We'll go ahead and start loosening that bolt so we can get the spare tire out of there for now. So now we're going to be coming back underneath the vehicle here. So on either side here, we have these fascia support brackets. We need to remove these temporarily. In order to do that, we're going to have a push pin fastener at the bottom and then a bolt up top. So we'll go ahead and remove that push pin fastener first. You just pry that center section out. and you should be able to remove the rest of the clip. Then we'll take a 12mm socket and remove the bolt up top. And now we'll just repeat that same process on the other side. So next we need to trim out a small portion of the lower bumper fascia here. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the center point. You're going to take 2 outside reference points here, measure that, divide by 2 to get our center point. Then we're going to measure out a few inches on either side of that center point and then to the top from this bottom edge. So there's going to be a good diagram in your instructions to get that exact cutout, but once we have it marked out, we're going to take a Dremel tool and we're going to remove that material. And now we can come back with either a file or a razor knife and clean up all those rough edges. Now with an extra set of hands, we can go ahead and raise our hitch up into position. So here's our hardware that's going to come in our kit. The conical tooth washer, you just need to make sure that the teeth are facing the hitch. So now that we have one bolt in on each side holding the hitch up, we can go ahead and install our remaining fasteners. Now we'll go ahead and tighten and torque all of our hardware using a 19mm socket to the specifications in our instructions. So now don't forget to reinstall your fascia tabs and raise your spare tire back up into position. And that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the CURT Trailer Hitch receiver here on a 2020 Nissan Pathfinder.